We are students from IMT Ghaziabad, currently pursuing our MBA degree. My name is Anshul, this is Tanmay. Our team also consists of Ghanistha, Mihir and Teja. And today we have with us a prominent figure from the AI and FMCG industry to share a few of his insights with us that will help us and maybe help you too. Tanmay, can you please introduce our guest for today?
So today we have Mr. Abhineet Sood. Abhineet Sood is a leader in digital strategy and process transformation, delivering business value across global Fortune 500 clients. His experience spans consulting roles at Accenture, ZS, and Tech Mahindra, and has been recognized by LinkedIn as top voice for his thought leadership in the field. Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you, Tanmay. Thanks.
So we'll jump to the questions straight ahead.
Yeah. So, sir, could you please walk us through your journey post MBA and now as a deputy director at PepsiCo? How was the journey? What all things have you learned?
Sure. So, right out of MBA in 2013, I started my journey with consulting. And I was very keen to get into consulting. Started with Tech Mahindra, which was more telco focused, right? So, the journey started with process excellence as the base for the projects which we were doing. But slowly and gradually, as the automation kicked in, right, the world was moving towards robotic process automation, AI, some of those technologies. I also pivoted myself to those solutions, and gradually from Tech Mahindra, telco to banking financial services to life sciences organizations, the big firms which we all might have heard during the COVID times. I did consulting for a lot of those firms, and then the shift happened toward industry. So I was always, last 12 years have been in consulting. Now I'm moving to industry to explore the other side of things, if you will.
Was consulting something you always wanted to get in, specifically the tech side?
Right, so absolutely. So I always wanted to be at an intersection of business and technology, and consulting also was very helpful because you get to work with so many new clients, new problems to solve every day of the journey you have, right? So it could be an 8-week, 6-week engagement, move to a longer 6-month engagement, and the client's problems are very specific. So because I wanted to get into consulting, plus the consulting has the opportunity, right? It's massive because it gives you that dimensions, problem solving, and all those things, right? Which are very helpful in your long-term career.
And looking back from the degree days to your post now, what would be like the pivotal experience, the pivotal decisions that shaped the trajectory?
Right. So I'll be very honest, right? My journey has never been a linear path, right? I always wanted to get out of my comfort zone. People stay in an organization for long, but I was of the opinion that you should try in your early years different industries, right? So I moved from telco to banking to life sciences. So 2 or 3 instances or pivotal moments, if I may put it, is one, the shift from pure process consulting to a tech-focused consulting, which is upskilling yourself in new age emerging technologies. The AI was picking up. In the last 7-8 years, I've done only AI-driven consulting. And then the second pivotal shift is leaving all that consulting behind you and move to an industry which is a completely different pivot, because you see things inside out, right? You are actually not just consulting the organizations, but you're part of that same organization to deliver those outcomes for them, right? So those 2 decisions have been very, I would say, worthy for me to take that decision, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So you have worked in multiple industries,
Yes.
multiple sectors. Which sector, after so many years of experience, do you find like worth it? Like, or maybe I can say, you would like to be there for the rest of your life?
See, sector-wise, if you talk, every industry has their own nuances. For me, banking financial services is the most receptive section where AI is adopted faster than others. Whereas life sciences is on the complete opposite side, because you are making drugs or innovation is happening, something which is impacting the lives of human beings, right? So those are the most laggards in the industry. So if someone has to actually solve tough challenges, life sciences, healthcare is a very good industry, and it's an evergreen industry to be in. Plus the challenges they solve are very, very particular, very unique, ranging from R&D to reporting to maybe doing some clinical trials and stuff like that, right? So everything is very good in life sciences.
So moving on to the next question, like what skills from your MBA days you still find relevant?
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. So I would say a couple of them are very important. As you do in your MBA, a lot of collaborative projects, right? You do case studies. You sit with people from different geographies, different backgrounds, right? Someone from commerce, science, or arts, maybe. So you get to collaborate with different backgrounds. Similarly, those skills have helped me in my consulting journey because you work with the CXOs from say finance, supply chain, IT, different stakeholders, different perspectives coming in. So bring that skill, have that collaboration experience very worthy for yourself during your MBA days, and I've taken it ahead in my career as well. The second one I would say is communication and storytelling. So while you are doing your MBA, you present a lot of case studies, how those scenarios play, or maybe if you are doing any research based work, right, you present those findings to your professors in the college. Similarly, when you communicate to the CXOs, right, I've talked to most of the CEOs or CFOs of the organizations to tell them the value story, right? What benefits if they bring AI, if they bring new solutions, technologies, how that can be implemented plus bring value to them. So if you're a good storyteller, that is very important. I think one more I will probably add is because you are doing your MBA, be keen to adapt and learn continuously, right? Because the way the industry is changing, the way the technologies are changing. So I started say 10 years back when RPA, typical rule-based automation was the run-of-the-mill thing. But now AI came in, then agentic is now coming in, from generative to agentic in just a span of 2 years, right? So always be keen to learn. Similar to your MBA, right? You do learn new concepts every semester of your journey, right? So similarly, every 6 months you need to upskill in your area of work as well. So those three things you should continuously, I mean, what I've taken from my MBA to my career.
So just a clarification on that. So you said people skills, communication, storytelling, and adaptability, right?
Yes.
So these would be the soft skills aspect of your MBA, right?
Yes.
So the soft skills in MBA held more value, say, than the technical side.
Absolutely. So whenever you say theory and practical wins hands down. But it's not that you should not know your basics, your foundations. You should be able to apply those foundation principles, whatever you have learned through your MBA days, in your learnings as well, right? So if you're talking about branding, if you're talking about AI as a solution, how that solution will be used for promotional campaigns, for digitization of, say, your social media handles and stuff like that. So you should know what works from a theory standpoint, but you should be able to adapt and scale it to your respective work.
Building on the adaptability aspect,
Yeah.
I think today's corporate world is more dynamic than it was, say, 10 years back, 15 years back, right? So at least from our point of view as MBA students, when you say you should upskill or you should, improve your skill set every now and then, what particularly should we focus on if you could give us a niche?
Right. So I always feel that you should be tech focused, but you should not just be aware, right? You should actually be able to understand why that technology, why that solution is important to upskill. So if I may pick up an example, and AI is a broad field in itself, right? So if you have to solve a challenge, say in marketing, you may be doing that. So you are talking about promotional campaigns, right? Or you are talking about social media handles. So how AI can be the game changer, you should be able to understand, because it will be able to track the unstructured data, create those insights for you much faster than any other solution in the market, right? You will be always able to see the red flag. So if someone is talking negatively about your brand on any of the platforms, say Reddit or Instagram, you know that there is something I need to fix. And those indicators, those predictive analysis, you should be able to link to your core fundamental technology elements and then try to solve that problem, right? So it's a mix of business value with what technology, but there are hundreds of them, right? I would not like to name a specific solution, say ChatGPT or anything, but there are hundreds of them. You should be able to pick the one which solves the problem. So be problem focused and then map the technology rather than the other way.
Right.
Yeah.
So building on the AI aspect again, particularly in the FMCG industry, is AI just a buzzword or?
Game changer.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say it's past the phase of buzzword now. Like last few years, how the industry has shaped and how the technology has evolved. Both have come to a place where both have a role to play. And now it's not a buzzword, if I may put it in your language. It's a game changer. And why I say that is because anything you do, whether it's your demand forecasting on supply chain side, your order management process, or maybe you are doing a promotional campaign, before even you launch a product, right, you can get an insight of how the market will behave, how your different Gen Zs, millennials, different customer segments would behave. You have that insight already through simulations and where the technology is playing, right? Plus, even say your logistics planning, your supply chain forecasting, there could be multiple scenarios where AI is being used day in, day out to make those decisions. Your inventory optimization, right? How you have 200 SKUs in your organization which you need to manage, and the simulation, the combination, how the customers will order that. You can build a lot of AI algorithms to manage that and manage it almost to a 99% accuracy also, right? So considering the variations of weather, the transport, the cost, you can build 100 parameters into one model. So I think in FMCG it's way important because of the high volume, low margin game which FMCGs play, right?
So you mainly focus on the supply chain part.
Yes.
In AI optimization and everything. So are there any other areas also in FMCG where AI is being implemented?
So in innovation, right? So if you look at the bottling or even in the manufacturing itself, right? The different flavors being tested, simulated, which flavor will be more important, say for a chips or for the beverages, rather than doing a manual testing for all of them, basis the research, basis the data, AI can predict that this is the right flavor for you to launch in the market. So innovation, R&D is a huge area where AI is playing a big role.
On similar lines, marketing is also there.
Absolutely. So for your branding, your like promotional campaigns get created through AI nowadays, right? Even the labels, the way you look at the packaging itself, right? What will attract the customer? All of those designs are getting created by AI now.
Right. And you mentioned that FMCG is a high volume and low margin business, right?
Yes.
So in that kind of business, when you implement AI, has the profitability been impacted? And if so, how do you measure that?
That's a very good question, and that is where at times the adoption of AI, because it takes time to build the right data set before you build a solution on top of it, right? See, it's always garbage in, garbage out, right? So if you don't have data platforms, and when you talk about profitability, right? So that profitability aspect is important, especially when you are building a long-term solution or you have a 5-year vision, 10-year vision in the organization. So if you are thinking from a profitability perspective, I would say it depends from market to market and the product categories also, right? So at times you lose some, win some, and you balance it out, right? So I can't answer the exact question because of certain reasons, but what typically the organizations are doing to manage keep the profitability high is through means technology, and also being more proactive in their managing of their inventory, supply chain, and reducing the cost of delivery to the end customer. So you might have heard in FMCG, right? Farm to fork kind of concept, right? So from end to end, can you bring in blockchain to ratify that the product which is coming from the farm is rightly getting in the hands of the end customer, right? The authenticity of it, the data sourcing, all those needs to come together so that the less of spillage happens means more profitability. Less, on-time delivery happens, your customers are happy, they're ready to give you discounts, right? So all those come into play if you are enabling everything through technology. So I am a very tech focused guy, and that's why maybe it's coming in all my discussions. But yeah, that's how I would put the profitability.
You also mentioned like how AI is, analyzing the demand, inventory management, and
Yes,
everything.
yes.
So, do you think AI is also shaping like decisions faster than before, or like helping you stay ahead of competitors? Because the
Definitely.
FMCG industry is mainly
Right.
capturing
So
the market.
yeah, so I would not say it's helping you. I would not compare it with past, but time to market is becoming very fast,
Yes.
right? So because you are able to design your promotions, take AI as an enabler to make those decisions for you, and then you understanding all the scenarios, taking that call whether what AI is given. So human in the loop, you might have heard, right? That concept always remains, but the time to market has reduced. You are able to absolutely you are able to bring that product faster, and that is actually winning the game for you,
Yeah.
right? If you are able to take things faster to the customer,
Yeah.
which your competitors and even your digital ads, it can review the competitor ads, pinpoint inefficiencies, or say that your competitor is performing in this market well. These are the things they're not performing well, right? So is that a market or a area white space where you can plug in, bring some product to solve that gap in the market, right? So all those instances can be done through AI.
Also when it comes to AI, we hear a lot of brands and almost every company saying that today AI helps us come up with different marketing strategies or maybe even influence our pricing to some level.
Yes.
But can you give us insights on how that happens? Maybe either an example or even conceptually how that happens?
When you say pricing, as in product pricing, or you're talking about like
Product pricing. Because you can again better forecast demands, right?
right? So see, everything is interlinked, right? So pricing is not a thing which is an outcome of just one parameter, right? So pricing is determined by seasonality. It is determined by the kind of product, the market you are in, plus also how at what stage that product is, right? So you might have heard about the mature stage, the new
Product life
stage.
cycle.
So when you launch a product, maybe the pricing strategy comes into play, right? Because you have done that research, you have evaluated your competitors, you have found a niche, say, and I'll give you an example, right? So say if a FMCG company launches a protein focused product, right? A beverage which is say high on protein, and they want to launch it in the market. So what is their target audience? Maybe the youth or the Gen Zs who are going gymming, more into fitness freaks or things like that, right? So you need to first map out through that, like you do in your MBAs, right? The case study analysis. You do that scenario analysis, you identify the target audience, the target group, and then you say that, okay, this is the right price, considering their earning potential, what demographics they come from, is that product even going to be ordered through an offline medium or online medium, so the price is changed, right? So maybe I didn't get the full question which you going, but the pricing itself is a outcome of multiple parameters and scenarios, which it's a very strategic decision, right? At times you even keep the prices lower to just win the game or get that visibility in the market and then increase the price, right? So it depends how much the organization's appetite is to suffer losses in the short term but win in the long run.
And has it had any direct influence on marketing strategies or a campaign?
Absolutely. So everything is linked, right? So you may be reading or learning about the 7 P's of marketing, right? So price, anyways, is a deterministic factor across other P's as well, right? So if you are designing your marketing strategy, pricing, place, promotion, people to whom you are taking, everything comes into picture. So yeah.
Okay. So, since AI is here, I wanted to ask, what skills should future managers should have in this AI-driven world?
Yeah, so I mean, one I mentioned, right? Be tech affluent or knowledge about technology is a must, but being aware of your current dynamics is also important, right? So when you say future leaders, so they should be adaptable. One, they should not fear from taking risks, because at times what happens is, and that's what I answered previously also, right? At times you look at a very short-term picture, right? So you should have a 5-year vision, a strategic roadmap that, okay, this is why I am doing these things. I don't know if you ask specifically for AI or is it more from a business leader
Since
side?
AI is here.
Okay.
Apart from AI,
upskilling
also,
is one. Upskilling is one. You should know which technology. So if generative AI happened in 2022, now agentic AI is picking up pace, right? But what problem it can solve? So what you should do is, as what I do as a leader in my organization or the work which I do is, be problem solving, right? And that is the skill, one of the best skills you will learn in MBA is to manage multiple problems, break them into chunks of smaller problems, and then say that, okay, this is the problem AI can solve, this is the problem my process can solve, this is the problem which say maybe a people issue which I need to solve through trainings to refresh it. So you need to be aware that what solution fits which problem. So be problem focused and then have knowledge of all the arsenal of toolkits and solutions and technologies which emerging technologies which keep coming in the organization.
And finally, I think I have a two-part question.
Sure.
So, with how fast AI is changing and developing, it's leaving a lot of degree holders out of jobs. Is that something we should be scared of?
So that's one of the myths, if I may put it right, that people fear, is that AI will take away all the jobs, right? And I, every time since the time I started my RPA journey in 2017-18 also, is I have faced those upfront questions from the teams, right? The clients which I work with, like, will my job go away? Will the new batch which comes, which is redundant jobs, very manual intensive jobs, will those go away? So my answer to that is, it may go away, but new jobs will get created because, and I'll be honest, why? Because it has happened since the Industrial Revolution, right? So since the time of your steam engines to your motor cars came in, and industries got set up, jobs got lost. I mean, you might have heard about the looms and all those industrial things, right? So those jobs went away, but new manufacturing setup happened, right? Similarly, in AI also, the low-cost blue-collar jobs will go away. But if you are skilled, you know how to use some of these tools and technologies, you can carve a very unique, distinct design for yourself in terms of the career approach you want to have. So I will not say, it may impact in the short term, but if you upscale, and especially the young generation, right? And that's a fear for, say, the code snippets can be written end to end, right? Nowadays, so the engineering graduates passing out right now, they fear all of that. But I was talking to a few days back, right? They know, if you know how to use those tools, right? Claude and ChatGPT and some of these tools, you can use those to be more productive and be the differentiator. So, I mean, you might have heard this phrase time and again that AI will not replace you, people who know AI will replace you, something like that, right? So you need to learn these tools and be ready for the challenges.
My second part was going to be, do you have a myth to bust about AI?
Yeah, I think that was answered. It was related actually.
Yeah.
So
I think that's it from our end.
Yeah, that's it from our end.
You've been very helpful. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me here. I hope I answered some of your questions. And nice to meet you.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you.